Hi everyone, welcome back to Aidans Railways. Today we're going to have a look at some rolling stock, goods rolling stock in fact, all purchased brand new from Durham Trains of Stanley. Lockdown in the UK is easing now, so I took the opportunity to go out and visit Mick at the shop, see how he was and have a look at what items he had in stock. So let's get down to the bench. So here we have 4 examples of some of the rolling stock I recently purchased from Durham Trains of Stanley. All reasonably priced, a little under the recommended retail, but I think they are very well priced for what they are. It's not very often that I buy goods rolling stock, and I think that's something I need to do. I need to build this collection of open wagons and tankers and things like that, as the only real open wagons that we have and tankers are all for the Thomas and Friends series. So I think it's about time we start to build this collection up. Obviously second hand, you can usually pick up open wagons for about £4 a piece. These are out in the current 2021 catalogue, although I do understand and had a look in the catalogue and the St Ivel one was actually available last year in 2020. So let's take a closer look at all 4 items. So first up we have our 6978. It's a 6-wheel milk tanker. It's the St Ivel number 44029. Previously I have never owned a 6-wheel milk tanker, so when I saw this in the model shop I felt obliged to have one. In fact, I actually have 2. I bought 2 just because I thought they looked so nice. Everybody seems to want 6-wheeled items at the moment, whether it be a 6-wheel locomotive or 6-wheel coach. So I figured I should have some 6-wheel tankers. So let's have a quick look. We've got the St Ivel logo there on the side, very sharp, printed very well. On the chassis we have 44029. With not to be loose shunted, very clear and very precise printing on there, and along with the wheelbase of 13 foot 0 inches. So the banding here, these straps, these seem to be really fairly delicate. I would imagine if they snap they will be an absolute pig to rectify. We've got the ladder going over the sides, straight over the top and down the other side, along with a hatch on the top. On the ends, we've got a dummy coupling. We've also got what looks to be like a valve and tap with the pipe running to the bottom of the tanker. It's the same at the opposite side as well for emptying the milk from it. Only downside on this is we have a plastic molded buffer straight to the chassis. I was a little disappointed at that, but it still won't take away from the model too much, I don't think. Plenty of detail on the chassis there. We've got all of the axle boxes, the manual brake as well as the ordinary braking running along. Metal axles, metal wheels, a little bit of detail on the underside, not very much but a little bit. We've got NEM pocket couplings, which is great, which really realistically all new items rolling stock should really have. It's exactly the same on the opposite side, but it is a very nice 6-wheeled tanker. As I said, I purchased 2 because they looked so nice. So there we go. Moving on. Next up we have Herbert Wriggler. This is our 6948. It's a 5-plank wagon. Herbert Wriggler number 106. So let's take a closer look. So there we go. We've got the Herbert Wriggler number 106. Bournemouth Central. Tear of 5-16-1. And we've got a load of 8 tons. So on this we can see all of the rivets and bolt details, hinges, all of that sort of thing, holding the planks together, and for the access hatch on the side there for loading and unloading. We've got a manual brake yet again on this wagon, nicely picked out over at the side here. We have got the handle painted white. We've got all the axle box detail and plenty of the framework visible there, giving it a very nice look. Underneath there's plenty of detail there, and we've also got the made in China and Hornby bits on the moulding, but you're not going to see those. But there's plenty of detail there. We've got NEM pocket couplings, metal axles and wheels. And unlike our milk tanker, we have got metal buffers at the sides. They're not sprung, they're just metal buffers. They don't need to be sprung. We've got our imitation coupling, and you can see the rivets and bolt detail on the mouldings there for the framework holding the planks in place. As I said, NEM pocket couplings, both sides, absolutely wonderful. I do think it's a nice 5-plank wagon. Looks very nice. I think it needs to be dirtied up just a little bit, get a load in there. That's going to look wonderful. So next up, going up a plank size, we have got our 6950 six plank wagon. It's T. Harrison and Sons, number 33. So we've got T. Harrison and Sons, telephone 662 Oldham, number 33, Hollingwood. And let's see if I can get close enough, I might be able to read this. Empty to, I think that's Houghton, Main Colliery, and I can't make out the rest, but we've got 6-6-0. Got a builder's plate, I believe it is, on the chassis there, and a load of 10 tons. And very predominantly you can see the rivet and bolt details there on the framework and hinges, and all of the other metalwork there holding those planks in place, and the access hash for unloading and loading. Manual brake there on the side on the detail, and the axle boxes. Looks very nice. It's upper plank level, like I said. This is a 6 plank. On this side you can see all the detail yet again on the moulding for the framework holding the planks in place. Yet again we have got metal buffers, and I'm liking these metal buffers. They do make a difference in comparison to that of our milk tanker. In fact, I'm going to bring the milk tanker in here and you can just see how much of a difference they really do make. Less clumsy, I think, the metal ones compared to the plastic. But there we go. There is our 6 plank wagon. Very nice indeed. Next up we have got our 6952 going up another plank. We've got a 7 plank wagon. It's called Madge. It's a number 62. I really do like the colours on this. I like the white and black and the grey, and where they all sort of like blend with each other. It's very nice. It's incredibly sharp printing. So we've got Madge 62 7-4-1, London and Brighton. And I think we've got up some tonnage as well. Yes, a load of 12 tons. And we can see the builder's plates on the chassis there. So similarly, we've got the manual brake detail there, just showing up. Not picked out quite as well as that of the 5 plank wagon with the metal, with the white handle, but it's still all there. We've got all of our axle boxes, spoked metal wheels, metal axles. You can see all of the rivet and bolt detail for everything on this. This has got a slight variation to that of the other wagons in the sense that on this side we can see the rivet and metal work brought out in detail there, holding the planks in place. Obviously we've got our dummy coupling hook and the metal buffers, but on the opposite side we have got what appears to be the framework for the opening hatch or doors for loading and unloading. So we're totally different from one side to the other. So it's a nice little bit of variation there in this model. And we've got all the usual detail there on that chassis that we've seen on the others. Same underneath, and we've got our NEM pocket coupling. Now, speaking of NEM pocket couplings, if I just place Madge there, although I don't have a huge amount of open wagons and tankers for what I would class as Railways of Britain, whether they be era 2, 3, 4 and so on, we have got a huge amount of the Thomas & Friends ones. As I'm starting to build up this collection, I am building up some of the older models released from years ago. And the difference being that these items here have these NEM pocket couplings and a much more narrow coupling. Now, a lot of the older ones, which I chance to use as they are, or modify, have the larger D-shaped couplings, and this could cause problems with uncoupling whilst running around the track and so on. Another thing to note is on some of the train sets that Hornby produce, I'm going to use for instance here, we've got the Master of the Glens with the P2, and it has LNER railroad style teaks. The railroad teaks have the large D-shaped coupling, and the coupling on the back of the tender of the P2 has the small NEM pocket coupling like this. One of the things I have experienced is in actual fact is it uncoupling as it goes around the track. So while I was in the model shop, I purchased some of these Bachmann accessories. More notably in this case is the 36-053 wide or large couplings NEM shaft, and it's a pack of 10. So if you haven't seen these, and I imagine you may have, what we have here is a sort of what I would call a medium-sized D-shaped coupling. And the beauty is this does mean that now I can simply, or I'm going to try to do this on camera, remove the coupling that's fitted on one side of one of these wagons, for instance, place it into the NEM pocket, and then it's going to give me a little bit more flexibility when mixing a rake if I have large decouplings on some of the stock, and some of the smaller NEM pocket couplings will be happily coupled together. It just means that it would make it a little bit easier for running mixed rakes, as in when they were manufactured. It also means that if I want to run some of those, say, railroad coaches with the large decouplings, I can in turn put some of these couplings on the rear of the locomotives that have the smaller NEM coupling. So there we have 4 types of goods rolling stock. I have got 2 of the St. Ivals, as I said, so that actually brings up to 5 there that I purchased recently from Durham Trains of Stanley. While I was in the model shop, I actually bought a number of other items, but stay tuned and there'll be a video coming soon with them. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed, click on the round button. If you enjoyed this video and you want to watch some more, there's another video at the top of the screen and there's a playlist at the bottom. See you again soon.